Greetings, wandering humanoids. I'm Shrive.
Flynn.
Oma.
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to Venture Forth. Previously, you all had been traveling from the town of Marstock to Direhand on your way to the capital of Oakenspire. You guys have been traveling this way to rescue the ill-fated Xavier, someone who Olma had known in her past. And on your way, you guys had come across a couple of, let's call them roadblocks in your way. On the way down from Marstock through these two mountain ranges that scaled you on either side, you guys came across a family of half-orcs, and this family seemed to be in trouble as they weren't able to get past this waypoint to get to Direhand. You guys decided to stop and turn around and help this family get through the mountain, a little bit more of a direct route, but admittedly more dangerous. You guys could tell immediately upon approach that this half-orc woman was very pregnant, and after a little bit of discussion, Kalik had decided that you guys needed to help and went back. You guys begun your travel through the mountain and went deep and discovered a ancient dwarven forge deep underground with these massive forges, only to discover that now, although they lay dormant for the dwarves, they were housing fire giant babies. And after waking a couple of these babies, a fire giant mother burst into the room and began attacking you all for waking her children. Unfortunately, we lost a horse. And as you guys were able to run, minus one horse member of your party, you guys were able to escape the mountain and escape this fire giant, closing the tunnel behind you, and finally escape to the open air. As you guys did, you noticed it is very late at night, and you guys decided to take a rest. And after scouting a little bit of an area, an opening, Kalik had seen some invisible footprints trudging through the leaves. Not deciding to go after whoever this person was, you guys decided to bed down for the night. You guys some of you had taken your rests so far, but as Shreya goes back to sleep and continues his rest, along with Orak, the father of the young half-orc girl, Olma, you wake up. See that the sun is almost just beginning to rise. You don't see the sun directly, but you sort of see that light that preludes the sun in the morning, and you just barely see it through this strip of open sky along the horizon as these thunderous clouds begin to stretch all the way to the horizon. As you wake up, you see Shreya is just going to sleep. What would you like to do?
Good night, Shreya. I want to watch the sunrise slowly, like the peaks, and I'm going to reach into my pocket and pull out the little raven pendant I have and the little acorn that I have, and just kind of like hold on to them and think about where March might be. And I'm so glad that we're close to Xavier now. Do I see the horse? Stillfast?
Yes, you do. The horse is tied to a tree.
Is it sleeping?
Yeah, yes, it is.
I want to forage for some berries and then go up to the horse.
Okay, I'm going to have you make a survival check.
Oof. 6.
You find some berries. You don't know if they're good. You don't know if they're poisonous.
Okay. Cool. I don't know anything about them. Do they look like the berries that I ate earlier? Yesterday?
Yes, they do.
The other day? A long time ago? time is weird. That other time that I ate berries.
Yeah. They look very similar to that. Yeah.
So I'm going to test one.
Okay. You eat it. It tastes pretty much the same.
Great. Cool. I hope I'm fine. I'm going to go over to Stillfast with some of the berries that I have and just kind of make sure that Stillfast hears me walk up so I don't surprise the horse, but kind of shuffle my feet a little bit as I get closer to it.
Okay. It does kind of jolt awake at first and then sees you and calms down.
Great. I am going to kind of like put my hands out in front of me as I get closer to him because I don't spend a lot of time with Stillfast. And I just want to put my head up closer to its eyes and kind of pat its neck and give it some of the berries. Does it eat the berries?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so they're probably fine. And as I'm patting its neck, I just want to... Does it seem sad?
Make an insight check at disadvantage. Because this is a horse.
11.
11.
Could be worse.
It's a horse that just woke up. Really can't tell.
Okay. I'm sorry, Stillfast. I don't know if Penelope was your friend. I don't know if horses have friends. But I'm sorry that she's not with us anymore. I'm just like petting Stillfast's neck. I'm just gonna breathe with the horse. That's how I'm gonna spend my watch, is just kind of like getting some nice horse therapy in.
Okay. And as you do, over the course of your watch, you just barely catch the sun beginning to rise over the horizon before the clouds completely overtake it and the sky turns completely gray. I'm going to have you make a perception check for me to finish out your watch.
And a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Okay. You hear the rumblings of thunder, and they seem to be coming from behind you, sort of towards the mountain, maybe up and over the mountain where you guys originally went into the cave. And you're sort of looking up and around, and you sort of look up and back towards the mountain, and you see all these rolling thunderclouds and booming thunder every couple of minutes. And after one of the booms of thunder, you think you see a shadow move across one of the clouds. Almost like this huge figure just walking through the clouds.
Like humanoid?
Humanoid, but massive.
But it's over by the...
Just over the peak of the mountain as you're looking back towards where you came from.
Okay.
And you see this figure. It's like something is either deep within the clouds or even beyond that. You're just barely able to see the shadow. And you can see this thing walking. And after a moment, it stops. And you're able to see it clench its fist and rear back. And as it rears its hand back, you see sparks of lightning around its hand. And it throws these sparks of lightning, and you can hear and see lightning shatter across the sky all around you before silence once more. The shadow fades, and after another minute, you hear another burst of thunder, but this time you're not able to see anything accompanying with it. It sounds like it's further beyond the mountain.
Is it raining?
It is at this point just starting to rain.
Where we are?
Just starting to come down, yes.
Oh my goodness.
You can feel the first drops. Most of the trees around you guys are able to sort of keep it from falling directly on you, but you catch a couple of drops on your face.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull my hood up a little bit and like tighten my cloak a little bit. And have I seen anything like that ever before?
You have not. No.
Yeah, I'm wide-eyed wide-eyed at the sky, just completely silent at what I see.
Okay. And with that, the rest of you wake up to the sound of booming thunder. And at this point, more and more rain beginning to hit your face as this downpour begins to start.
What was that? Oh, man. My head hurts.
Could we go back inside that mine again? That cave under the...
Under no circumstances, Shreya. I'm not going back into that mine.
I don't like getting wet.
I'm still... If you look at Alma, I'm still staring at the sky. Guys?
What is it, Alma? And I'll turn to the rings I'd drawn in the dirt that are now becoming mud and just swipe it to destroy it. What's wrong, Alma?
There's something in the sky.
I believe they call that a thunderstorm.
I was going to say clouds? What do you mean? And I'll look to where she's looking. Can I see anything?
You see the moving clouds. You see like this rolling mass of clouds, and every once in a while lightning and thunder, but nothing
Just
unusual
like a
for a storm. Yeah.
What did you see, Alma?
I thought I saw someone walking, but like a big someone, and I think they're causing the lightning. But that doesn't make sense, right? Right? Right?
We're pursuing someone who's the father of the fallen storm, right? You suppose that's the fallen storm? Just gracing our path here?
No. I thought that was a metaphor.
I thought it was figurative as well, yes. But maybe it's a being? Hard to look at it. I shield my eyes from the rain as I'm looking up. I don't know. Hopefully in Oakenspire there's more knowledge on this, or perhaps Xavier can enlighten us.
Maybe.
After we make it to Direhand first.
Yeah.
Sleep okay, Alma? Besides?
Yeah, it was nice. It was peaceful. I gave Stillfast some berries.
That's good. I'll kind of sit up and pull my hood up as the rain's still coming down. And I'll, as they're conversing and talking about the storm, I'll turn to Shreya. Hey, do you have anything in that pouch that helps with headaches, aches, pains? I'm really feeling it this morning. That was a lot.
With the affliction, is it more located toward this? Is it the skin or your internal?
It's like right here under my eyebrows and like kind of in the back of my head.
Let's see what I can do. See if any of these survived the cave journey.
And I'm just going to look into my herbalism kit to see if I can put anything together to give Flynn some relief.
Okay, I'm going to have you make a medicine check.
Oh, not awesome.
No.
But not terrible. 11.
Oh.
11. You concoct something that seems to be just sort of like a general pain relief thing. You're not exactly sure what Flynn is talking about, like in specific sort of diagnosis, but just general pain relief should do it.
This will penetrate the top layer of skin. You should feel both a cooling sensation and also some temporary relief if you're experiencing a throbbing of any kind.
Oh, thanks. And as I pull my cloak in, I'm assuming it's a little bit cold. Is it warm? Like a warm? What is this? And I reach out for it. Is it like a beverage? Is it a
No, it's basically I've rubbed some herbs together and then wrapped it in a thinly woven piece of bark, and it's actually a topical. It's not something.
Okay. No, I'll reach out and
it's a topical.
grab it and start like rubbing it on my forehead. Does it feel better?
Yeah, at first it's a nice, like,
Cool.
cooling sensation, and then once it starts to heat up, the pain starts to dissipate a little bit.
Well, that's good. Thank you.
Anytime.
Man, and I'll turn to the group. Should we get going?
Well, what do we do now?
Well, we're bound for Direhand, right? We still have these people to get to their family first. And then from there we'll make our way to Oakenspire. Establish the connection back to Hayfried.
Right. But what about Penelope?
I just look back to where we came from toward the mine. I was thinking about that too. DM, if I look to the family, how are they doing right now? What's their state?
Right now, the Father Orak and the Mother Dura are trying to take some of their cloaks off and sort of shield their daughter Val from the rain as she's sort of sitting there shivering. And they just seem to be trying to protect her from the weather right now.
I was thinking about that, Omen. I don't know, maybe I don't have, proximity to Penelope's remains, but we might be able to do a little something for her, if that would. I'd like to try to usher her on to the best of my ability.
Yeah, I don't want her to be all alone in there.
Do you have anything that we could use just as a totem? Something that represents Penelope. I take that as a no.
I'm thinking.
Well, now look over at Try and Flynn. Maybe just a bit of rope. And seeing their nods of approval, I'll produce just a foot of rope. And I'll take the rope and I'll lay it in a little horseshoe under the nearest tree. If there's the biggest tree I can find, I'll create a little cushion of soil and I'll lay this in a horseshoe. And I will begin to ritual cast ceremony, and it will not have any magical effect on Penelope in actuality, but for the intent and purpose of doing a funeral rite, I will cast a spell. And I will invite everybody to gather around.
I go.
Yeah.
I've never done this for a horse, so Penelope, the horse. We barely knew you. But you're a nice horse. We put you through a lot, and you saw it all through without complaining. And I'm grateful for all you gave us. And I'm glad your death, however violent and ugly, I'm glad it was a quick one. And I'd like to think that in your final moments, you saw your options. You looked upon this family and these people who had come upon you, and you knew what the risks were, and still you rode heroically into that fiery tunnel. But I know that's not true. You did not choose to be a hero. It was thrust upon you. As I'll look around the group. We made you do it. I saw it to it personally. that you were put in harm's way. The world demanded a hero of you at a moment's notice and gave you no choice at all but to face your doom head on. And still, you rose to the occasion, unwavering, fearless. This burgeoning family, this young girl and her unborn sibling, whatever joy they have in their lives they lead from here will be born of your steady stride into the blazing dark. And as I'm casting this, the rope has begun to burn. And it's creating this this horseshoe pattern of just embers and soot. And at the center point of it, the ember, it seems like it's like blazing at a consistent pace, but once it reaches the center, this last ember continues to flicker. It is my hope that the embers of that burning boulder that struck you down will send you to the Argent Plains on my behalf. May we all know such bravery on our way out. Amplectare. Now, complete my casting of ceremony.
And as you do, you look up to the rest of the group and for the first time take your eyes off of this burning rope. And you look and you see Alma standing there. You see Shreya. You see Flynn. Next to Flynn, you see a hooded figure. Gray cloak. Off of the shoulders, ash floating off into the air.
What?
Oh my
Head bowed, hands clasped in front of him. And for a moment you see him before he disappears and you wonder if he was even there.
And I just bow my head in respect.
I'll walk up as he bows his head, and I'll just kneel down towards where the rope was. I mean, Kelly kind of said it all, but I feel like it was kind of my fault. I'm supposed to improvise and it's supposed to work out, but sometimes it doesn't. He's right that I kind of asked this of you and you didn't get a say. He's also right that in turn it saved people. And of course, if I could bring you out of that cave alive, I would have. And I'll, not really thinking what to do in this kind of situation, I'll just kneel down to the dirt, to the mud. I'm assuming it's still raining, and I'll just reach my hand out of my cloak and draw like a little C, and put a line through it. And I'll stand up, walk back to the group. Just kind of nod my head, silence.
I'll just walk up to Kalek as he's bowed his head. I have tears just kind of like silently streaming down my face, and I'll just reach out and grab his hand and squeeze it.
Close my eyes, and under my breath, I say, just into the ether,
Penelope, wherever you are, I hope you're able to find some of those purple carrots that you'd been so desperately seeking. I hope there are more of them where you're going.
Alma, I wish I knew how to put all of this in perspective. But I don't know that I can resist the call of action when it comes to these things. I sort of like just a shallow glance toward the family. I don't want to indicate to them that I don't want them to know what I'm talking about. But I see now how much, how little I can control what happens. It's such a strange position to be in, to be as powerful as we are, and still to have no control over the world. So I'll try to consider more when I put everyone at risk.
I don't understand. I've never wanted to go out of my way to help people. So I can't say that I understand the call. But I do want us all to stay safe. So I appreciate that.
The path we're on is not safe. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to risks, necessary or not, I don't know that there's really a line to be drawn.
I understand, but it's the path we're on. Sometimes we just have to think about the path we're on and what's the best way to accomplish that for us, you know? I never feel like I'm in control of anything.
I know, but this is the razor's edge.
What is?
You can use your power for all manner of things.
Yeah.
But when you only use it to serve yourself, then I just think the end of that line is far more dangerous.
I'm not only using it to save myself.
It's not an accusation.
But if other people are so dumb and they won't even go back to their homes, instead they want to go through a super risky place. Fine. I don't know if I'll ever agree that this was the right thing to do. But it's already done. And I don't want to be mad about it anymore. So let's just keep going, right? We'll go to Direhand. And then we'll go check on the portal. And then we'll save Xavier.
I kneel down. I'm asking you to meet me halfway here, Alma.
I am meeting you halfway. I'm not mad anymore.
That's not halfway, Alma. That's
What's
just brushing
halfway?
it under the rug. But I'm hoping you'll help me find it.
I don't know where halfway is. Maybe we can find it.
I guess we'll try. I'll stand and I'll head over to the family to see that they're prepared to move. Arik, you and yours doing all right?
Yeah, we're good to go. You guys ready?
Yes. Thank you for waiting.
All right. And he looks over to his wife and his daughter, and he motions a few things with his hands. Flynn, you see that he just motions it's time to go. And they look ready.
All right. Stay close, all right? There's some manner of invisible creature out here. Can't
What?
believe... Yeah, I imagined this, I think. There was a person
I
that's
don't
crossed our
remember
path.
this.
Was it like when we were resting in the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned it to all of us? Or was I already asleep?
You say you saw some being, Kalek.
The footsteps of someone coming from the cave. I think they might be our unknown assassin.
Assassin?
The person that slit the throats of those men we passed.
Oh, we did talk about this, but then I slept. Okay, you're
That's
right.
right.
I don't remember anything.
It's been a rough night, so I understand.
Well, I shall be walking with you all very close then. If not for also the fact that it's raining and I do not like to fly in the rain.
And at the mention of that, I tap the staff against the ground, and if you go with me on the druid craft, little vines are going to grow out from the top of it, and out from the top are just going to sprout some like palm leaves in a sort of circular pattern. I'm attempting to shield myself from the rain.
That is amazing. I will allow it.
Yes.
You now have a druid-crafted umbrella. All right.
Can I
Yeah.
also?
Mhm.
Can you go with me?
Yeah.
Do it.
While I'm feeling generous. Yeah.
I'm gonna put my hand above my head to kind of block the rain. And as I do that, I would like to create a 5-foot cube over my head that directs the flow of water away from me.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Yeah, sure. What spell are you using?
Shape water.
Shape water. Is that a cantrip?
It is.
Okay.
Thank
You
God.
choose, you instantly move or otherwise change the flow of water as you direct for up to 5 feet in any direction.
It's
So
a
just like-
cantrip. I'll allow you to continuously do it for as long as you need. All
And-
right.
And wait, if you would allow me,
Oh, my
Oh,
I would like to pull my hood a little bit further down and huddle into my cloak.
No, you are not. You are not allowed to do that.
If you would allow me, I will have no means of protecting myself from the rain and just solemnly trudge through the mud.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I think that's your
Um,
preferred method.
As you guys start walking down the mountain, it is your pace is just a little bit slowed, just because all of the dirt has been. Well, obviously, besides Flynn being slower, the dirt has turned into mud. And as you guys are going downhill, you guys have to be a little bit more careful where you put your feet. But generally, you guys are doing good making your way down this mountain. You guys crest the foothills of this mountain and continue on off to Direhand. As the rain just continues to pour down, for those who are not protected, and even for Flynn, just with your cloak up, the individual drops of rain are getting heavier and heavier, and almost get to the point where they start to sting a little bit, especially for you, Caleb, who are, you're just out braving the elements. And as that happens, Orak shields his daughter a little bit more and puts his cloak over. He's taken the force of it, but he's protecting her. And eventually, you guys are able to get to the outskirts of Direhand.
Snap.
You guys see a city here in front of you, a port town. You can see a lot of the town is based right up along the coast. And you can see several ships in the harbor. You can see people loading and unloading boats. You can see in the actual town itself, pretty flat, pretty even. You only see one or two buildings of the probably couple hundred that are here, one or two that exceed more than one story. Most of it wood. And as you guys begin to walk up, you can see a lot of the wood is, you can tell it's very weathered just from being this close to the Gulf here and being right on the coast. But as you guys do, Orak leads his family off to the side, and you see him walk and head toward a grouping of houses there. And as he does, are you guys choosing to follow them or make your own path?
I want to see to it. I'll look to everybody for agreement, but it would be my intent to see to it that they make it to their destination safely.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys all follow them, and as they walk, they turn down a street, turn down another street. It seems that they know where to go. It doesn't seem like Val has much of an idea. Every once in a while, she'll turn in the wrong direction, but her parents will correct her, and they continue on. And as they turn down one street, most of these streets at this point are pretty empty. Everyone's inside, sheltering themselves from the rain. But Dura drops to one knee and begins clutching her stomach. And you can see that she's sort of tensing up a little bit. And then she relaxes a little bit.
Yeah.
And as she does, she gets back to her feet, and Orek puts sort of an arm under her shoulder and begins rushing her a little bit more, as you can start to hear her struggling just to put one foot in front of the other. And when she hits one more, like you would know for a fact to be contractions, she drops to one knee just outside of one of these houses. And she relaxes once more. And in one final push to get his wife into the door, Orek puts his arm under her shoulder, lifts her up, opens the door, and carries her inside. Doesn't even mind to close the door behind them. As you look inside and see the warm glow of a fireplace, and you can smell some food. It smells like something's been prepared in this home. And you can hear the sounds of recognition, and you look inside and you see a couple of other half-orcs of varying age. And as they do, they whisk Dura off into one of the bedrooms. And you guys are just able to see inside before the door is closed, and they take her off into one of the bedrooms.
Are we inside the house?
You guys are standing outside of the house. You guys have not entered yet.
Has this family given any implication that we should be following them or not? Or are we just stalking them?
They have not given any indication. They don't even seem to have noticed that you're following, or just don't care as something more important is going on.
I'll, just like as the door shuts and as they get inside, I'll turn to just Kellic and just some time.
Yeah. Gods wonder what might have happened if we weren't here to get them out of there.
Yeah.
They were going through the darkness either way, I believe.
Yeah, there was no stopping them. Can we hear commotion?
Yes, at this point, the front door is still open. They closed the bedroom door once they went inside. But yeah, you can, at this point, hear the sounds of a woman going into labor.
Was did we see the rest of the family before they closed the door behind them?
Yes. When they opened the door, it seemed like from what you could see, from the smells, it seemed like there was some sort of festivities awaiting them. But upon immediately seeing what was going on, all of that was dropped, rush her into the bedroom, and close the door.
Okay.
I think she's in good hands.
Yeah, I don't... maybe this is the line, I don't need to overstep here. It seems like I have the support they need. Does this building feel... If I look around, does it seem well enough solid in its construction, all of that? Does it seem like it'll be a warm, safe place for this baby?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Definitely not like riches, but for sure enough to house a family healthily.
Do I see the kid inside at all? I'm assuming they didn't go in the bedroom.
They did not. No. The kid actually went right over to the table, and there's a couple of like baked goods on the table, and she's like trying to reach up and trying to grab one.
If I could just catch a glimpse of the kid and try and catch an eye, just move my fingers and hands in a certain few motions and just sign, stay safe. Goodbye.
Okay, and you see her look at you.
I'll do it really slow and like...
Yeah, she looks at you and she closes her eyes and you can tell like she's processing this, and with her eyes closed, she slowly puts her hands into one motion and you see her sign, "Thank us." And then she kind of shakes her head and then she signs, "Thank you."
Yeah, I'll just give a chuckle and a nod, and I think they're fine. Let's them be for now. We can check in the morning if you want to come back.
I'm all right. There's only so far that we can extend ourselves, and we've made it to Direhand quite a bit faster than we might have otherwise. So,
yeah,
well done, everyone. We handled that crisis
best we could.
What, Helma? I see you looking at me.
Nothing.
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 Seeing this family reunited doesn't give you a little warm feeling? Seeing the hope of this future for this child?
I mean, sure. There could have been hope for them elsewhere too, though.
Well, sure. We hope anywhere you look. But it can only be created by courage.
They didn't even say anything to us. They didn't even say thank you. They didn't even care.
You're having a baby, Alma. What do you want to parade for you?
Well, they didn't even pay you the 7 gold that they said they were going to pay you.
We
So,
told them
it's
not
totally
to pay
useless.
us. All right. Oh boy. Let's see if we can find ourselves a place to lie down and be warm. Yeah. And I will, sort of quietly, tenderly, start to make my way out the front door where we came in, and lead the group back out into the pouring rain.
All right.
And I will be actually shielding my arm from it. This time that we've been walking, that would be something folks would have noticed, is that I'm as much as possible covering my bandaged arm.
All right. Where in particular do you guys want to go?
I just had a couple questions about as we were entering the city. For one, did we pass through a wall? How heavily fortified is the city? Is it more is there like a military presence? Just as we entered, I wanted to be on the lookout for just how fortified it seems, and how, because I'm keeping in mind that we're close to the capital, and I don't think I've ever been in this level of civilization or this close to a capital city before. So what would I notice?
You would notice this is definitely less of a city than Addersfeld. What you've seen, Addersfeld, very well protected. That was right on the warfront. Direhand is less so. You guys can all tell immediately that Direhand was definitely not given a whole lot of attention when the war started as far as fortification goes. No wall when you guys first entered. And as you guys walk through the city, you noticed a couple of town guards, mostly dwarven, but where in Solaris you guys had seen very heavy armor, walking perfectly in step with each other. These guards are in a little bit more simple leather armor. You see a couple of them, as you rounded one of the corners, you saw a couple of them sort of sitting on a front porch, chatting with each other. A little bit more casual, but definitely a presence to them.
Would we have seen any banners to any particular deities, or would we have passed any kind of temples or anything?
Not from the side of the town that you came into. You can see sort of off in the distance, because everything is generally one-story buildings here. You can see the very few of them that are higher than that are across the town, and they seem to come up into spires, almost like your traditional temple. But again, one or two, you spot a third that maybe rises up a little bit more.
What do we think? Should we just try to move on from here? We've got the rest of the day ahead of us.
Yeah, does anyone need anything? I mean, we're in a, and I look around, it's like a town? Maybe there's some stuff here we could pick up. Maybe better clothes, maybe something for the rain.
Aye, that's sensible. Yeah.
And I'll look around for a shop as we kind of stroll down the street. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you see a couple of different shops as you are walking. Is anything in particular going to be standing out for you?
Like a stables?
Yeah, you see a couple of stables as you're walking. Most of them you saw sort of more near the outskirts of town.
Mm-hmm.
As you get to more the center, not really as much. You saw a couple of horses occupying the stables and a couple of them open.
It might also be a good idea to get maybe a cart. Is that something we can afford?
What? Why do we need a cart, Flynn?
For the weather.
Like a hooded wagon.
Yeah. It'll make it easier. Especially if we have to travel all the way back this way.
Well, we don't have to travel all the way back this way, though, because
we can
we're going to get the portal
take the
fixed,
circle.
right?
Yeah, I mean, we can try.
I just think we should have less. I think less is more.
I'm in agreement with that. I think we can take care of ourselves well enough, but the more appendages we have, the harder it is to protect them. And I sort of gesture I like cradle my arm even more. I'd be keen to maybe a leather worker or something, somewhere I could get a cloak.
Okay.
I do agree that less is more, but I do require a few more elements of the elements, I suppose. And wonder if they have an apothecary here somewhere.
I'm looking around.
Okay. I'm going to have you make an investigation check as well as Kellic.
Okay. Investigation?
Yes.
12.
23.
23. Kellic, the second you mention a cloak, you sort of look off to your left, and there seems to be a clothing store right there.
Nice.
Ask and you shall receive.
That's right.
Yeah, and it looks like probably lots of different things that you probably don't need, but most likely they carry cloaks in there.
All right. I will go into that store.
All right. You do, and as you walk in, the air in here is like thick, and you see just lining every single wall, just packed with clothes, different materials, different sizes, and you would have a hard time going down and looking at each individual piece of clothing as they are packed together so tight. Lining the walls, you can see there's a second row up above that. You can see that there are like these dressers, these long dressers with sort of half-open drawers where you can see different other clothes in there. You can see off in the corner there's a bunch of boots, but this place is just musty and packed.
Is there a shopkeep?
You don't see one at the moment, no.
Hello? Are you open? I've just come in from outside. Is anyone here? All right, I'll help myself. And I will try to look around for like the tall guy section.
Okay.
And I'm looking for something like enveloping, something that would be just like one big piece that would cover all of it, like a cloak with a hood that could basically be in front, covering my arms, and pretty much just being open at my chest and below.
Okay. Awesome. So you sort of look through and you see sort of a larger section, and you walk over and there's a lot of different options. There are different colors, different materials. Are you just looking for something sort of cloth?
Yeah, something like dense and dark would be my preference.
Yeah. Okay, so you find
thick.
Something that would work perfectly. It is it feels like cloth, but it's a little bit thicker. It's got a little bit more heft to it. Would definitely like subdue the rain outside. And it is this dark charcoal gray.
If the name fits, I'll lift that off of the shelf. I'll look around the room some more. Is anybody here?
Okay, no one is here. But as you lift it off of the shelf, you see there's a little tag on it that says 3 gold pieces.
Okay. Is there a counter somewhere, like a desk where this person might conduct their business?
A circular podium directly in the middle with a little cup in it.
How does this stay in business? I take out 3 gold. I'll put it in the cup.
Okay. And as soon as it drops into the cup, you hear the front door unlock.
Oh boy! All right, let's get the hell out of here. I'll don the cloak, pull the hood up, be shrouded in my misery, and leave the store.
Okay, and as you leave the store, you see Shreya running down the street as you have found an apothecary.
Make this quick.
All right, and you walk in, and you are also hit with just all of your senses all at once, different smells. You can almost taste like a bitterness in the air as you walk in, and you can see different plants almost like growing and enveloping the inside of this place. And you see a counter on the other side of the store from where you walked in, and on top of it sits a elven man, sitting legs crossed, hands down, open-faced on his lap, and eyes closed, and sort of humming to himself.
A deep breath in.
What am I saying? I could spend a day here.
Of course you could.
Excuse me.
I went in with
Oh, you went.
I went in with Shreya to the
Okay.
apothecary.
All right.
I'm just like standing there too.
What do you need? Do you need anything?
Why don't you look around? Not particularly.
Okay. Excuse me. What's your name?
My name is Allah Fordu. Welcome to the Fallen Petal.
Greetings, Allah. Or do I hope I... Never good at first-time pronunciations. I only interrupt your meditation. I would not interrupt it if it weren't of the utmost importance. I'm looking for several things. Perhaps you might have some of them.
I'm sure you would be able to find all that you need here.
All right, then. Take too much of your time. I'm looking for a long strand of sumac, a piece of obsidian, a glass orb. You have those three things.
Let me find out for you.
Oh, and before I forget, any of the varietals of moonseed, if you have those as well.
And without even opening his eyes to look at you yet, he purses his lips and you can see from behind the counter these 4 like ethereal birds, almost like hummingbirds. These weird, like translucent, almost blue-green birds fly out and flutter around the room. And you can see one of them perches off in the corner and picks up one of your ingredients.
Yeah.
Comes back and places it down on the table.
So cool.
One of them
Mhm.
from the other corner picks up one of your ingredients, places it down on the table. The other one finds this glass orb, and it seems to be a little bit big and heavy, and it can't quite lift it. And then one of the other birds comes over and helps it and brings it back over. And eventually, all of your ingredients that you need are laid out onto the table.
Got to get me some of those. Just watching them dance is a sight to behold. How should I compensate you for these components? Good elven friend. New friend.
But those 4 ingredients would come out to 12 gold pieces.
And those 12 gold pieces will now come your way.
And to try to match the level of prowess that this guy's demonstrated and bringing them out, I'm going to see if I can try to levitate a couple silver wisps under the gold pieces to bring back to them. I'll let you decide if I'm suave or not.
All right.
Make a swap.
a performance check.
All right. That's a 3.
Druid fight!
-1.
He graciously takes them. Oma, you see Shreya trying way too hard to be fancy. It's just very apparent. Thank you. Your patronage is much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna walk up to the counter,
Okay.
and he's sitting on the counter, right?
Mhm.
Excuse me. Allah Fordu.
Yes.
Could I ask for your help?
Sure.
Do you know what this is? And I hold out the silvery potion that's got like sparkly bits in it
I can
that I've
identify
had
that.
just forever.
I can identify that for a price.
Yeah? How much?
15 gold pieces.
What? seems a bit steep to just tell me what the potion does.
Well, then you can go somewhere else to find out what the potion
well,
does.
fine then, I will.
Have a good day.
Water under my breath. She has a lot to learn, the young one.
You got like an orb and a black thing and so much stuff for 12 gold, and all I want is
You
for
are
them
both bringing bad energy into my store, and I would appreciate it if you left.
Olma, the longer we wait, the longer Xavier rots in chains.
Yeah, let's go.
Was well met,
And I, with the little tap of my staff, bring like a electric purple glow to the room to try to return his good energy.
I, as I'm walking out,
Oh,
will
no.
turn around, and all of the water that is still on my cloak, I'm going to send his way
Oh
and
boy.
splash him in the face with it. And then I go walk away.
Jeez.
Yowza.
Okay. You see him
Roll
motion his hand as all of the water on its way to him dissipates into nothing.
Cool.
I don't see that because I was already walking away.
You do not see that.
So
because
in
you
my
already walked
mind,
away.
I splashed him with water.
And in your mind, he was so insulted. You guys all get back to the street. Flynn, is there something you want to do?
Yeah. I would have just said, "Hey, I'm going to stay outside," as they kind of went into their respective places. And I will. It's still raining, right?
Yes, it is.
Cool. I would just kind of walk around the streets and maybe try and find some alleyways and just kind of duck in them and look around the back of the buildings and little crevices and just looking for symbols.
Okay.
Just seeing if I see anything. If not, no worries. But I'm just gonna like kind of stroll and do my best to be like cool and brooding. Like with my hood up and everything. I'm kind of getting into it, but I'm trying to like look the part,
Nice. Make an investigation check at disadvantage.
Of course, because I'm tired. Do I still have a headache?
Yeah, you do. The headache at this point is coming back. Shraya's medicine has worn off.
Need to find him again. He needs to get some. Maybe I should have went in there. No, cool. So the same roll, but it's still low. And that is investigation. An 8.
An 8? You don't see anything interesting.
It's okay. I'll kind of make my way back to where I can see both of the. At a distance, I can see both of the apothecary and the clothing shop, and I'll just lean up against the wall under an overhang, kind of in the shade. Just really try to look cool.
Okay. Everyone walks back out to the street.
I have a quick question for Oma. Or actually, let me consult you first before I even go into this, because this may not work otherwise. When Oma described what she saw as the sun was rising, would any of that have made sense to Shraya whatsoever? Of what she was describing with the storm?
Make a history check.
Okay. 16.
16. You had grown up with stories and tales of giants fighting across the sky. And especially where you came up, these were like folklore to explain certain natural phenomenon. You never really took them as seriously, but this sounds like exactly one of the tales that you were told as a child.
Olma, I've given it some thought, and I think what you might have caught this morning as the rain began to descend upon us, I think you might have caught a rare glimpse of one of the natural wonders that makes this world tick. I'm now reflecting on it, quite sad I wasn't there to see it too, for I've only heard legends.
What was it?
Well, there are certain keepers of the different phenomena that we see across this world. As a child, I was very mystified by the intelligent ways in which the different gyrations of nature operate, but they, according to legend, are far more intelligent than we even realize. So if you did see a being up there, I would hope, well, in my sincerest heart of hearts, that it was a benevolent, neutral, just concerned with keeping the natural order in balance.
So you believe me? You think I actually saw something? I'm not crazy?
Oh, I more than believe you. I hope that one day I can bear witness to and maybe sit down and speak to this entity that you saw a brief glimpse of.
Man, but it looked so big.
It's big for a reason. You can't shape nature on a small scale.
Badass.
That was cool.
Yeah.
All right. So as you all meet back up on the street, still pouring rain without any signs of letting up, what would you guys like to do?
Do we know, Flynn, can I see your map? Can we, if we huddle over here under this awning, can we just make heads or tails of where we're going?
I mean, yeah. As I pull my cloak slowly.
What are you doing with your voice?
Why are you furrowing your brow like that, Flynn?
Never mind. Yeah, here. There's a little awning here. And I'll pull out the map.
What is our relative distance to the shack, the Hayfried Circle B? Yeah.
So, you know that the shack that Hayfried had told you guys about was on sort of the eastern side of the city. I believe he also expressed to you guys that a possible route would be either going there directly on foot or, as Direhand is a port city, going there by way of the Gulf.
And it's just outside of Oakenspire, this circle, this shack.
It's actually just within the bounds of Oakenspire.
It's in city
It's
limits.
inside, yes.
Okay.
Which is the fastest way?
Looking at it and just the pace that you guys have been traveling so far, fastest way would probably be to catch a boat.
Looks like if we go down, we might be able to get a boat by the river there and go through the Gulf of Bandir. Get around to Oakenspire. Either that, or we try to make it. Hopefully, there's a bridge across to Whitewind, and then we'd go through there. But I don't know. The cities are dangerous here. Almost as dangerous as the wilderness.
Yeah, maybe it's better if we just catch a boat, and then maybe it's easier to get into Oakenspire if you're on a boat.
If I peer closely, does there look like there's any ports marked where we might get a boat from Direhand?
Yeah, so not... Well, Direhand on the map is like super close to the coast, but especially just even walking up to Direhand, you saw the entire city was like a semicircle around the coast itself. So it seemed to be like very port-based. You saw several ships upon coming up. And also, you would see on the map that Oakenspire has a fair share of ports as well, as it is also up on the coast.
Right. Pros and cons, right? If we get a boat, we will have to explain ourselves to someone, whoever the captains the ship, or we could buy one, which might be expensive. I don't have much money myself. And we'll also be stuck. So there's no escape in a boat once you're on it, right? If we went by foot, we'd have a little more control, but it'll take longer, and I know time is of the essence.
What if we take about part of the way and then go from foot to the entrance? Is that a best of both worlds kind of situation?
How do you mean? Where would you want to dock?
If we go from Direhand, we can maybe get to Whitewind, and that might cut off a lot of time, and it seems like we can just go right from Whitewind to Oakenspire from there, and that might save time, but also allow us to have the freedom of land and not have to worry about getting a captain all the way to Oakenspire.
Alternatively, we could use the same excuse we used before. That seemed to work.
Just pass through Whitewind?
Yeah. No, to get on the boat from at Direhand and go all the way to Oakenspire and just use the same excuse that we used to get here the first time. We've got the sigil. Shreya, I don't think you can stay a dog that whole time, but that's okay. You can be yourself, and that's fine. And then when we get to Oakenspire, we can just say we're looking for Zeta, right? Because Zeta, she does the same thing that you do.
Right, she could be my contact that will, that I'm going to help her. Or
that you want to meet
up.
her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure. I mean, whatever path we take, I think that's a logical line of reasoning.
So we should just take the fastest way there.
The fastest way is by boat, yes.
DM, in my experience from growing up, I think if I remember back, does it seem that the security around a dock or the security around a front entrance on land, which would have more security, which would be harder to enter, which would need more papers and all that stuff, would I be able to know anything about that?
Actually, yes, you would know that. You would know that for the most part, getting into a city from a ship is going to be a lot less obstructed than getting in from land. Generally, a lot more people are able to traverse over land than are afford a ticket on a ship. So a lot less people are coming in through the ports, which makes that whole process a lot easier and a lot less tenuous.
I mean, yeah, if we're trying to use that trick we did last time, docks might be the way to go, and it'd be faster. I think that might be the thing to do.
I think the pros outweigh the cons, if we're taking it logically.
Yeah, there's like a lot of people trying to get in through the front gates, but not a lot of people getting in through a boat. So I guess if we have the paperwork, which we have that sigil, yeah.
Yeah, we kept our forged letter when we passed through.
They didn't take it from you.
Okay.
Should we see how much a captain costs? They know the waters better than we do. It might be worth seeing the price.
Or just finding a boat that's already going to Oakenspire and then just
paying for
passage. Yeah.
Right. I like that idea too.
I can't say I'm crazy about the idea of being on the water myself, but if it's necessary, then that's fine.
Well, this seems much more sensible than my idea, which was to stow away on a gem and mineral. The rain. Gem and mineral boat.
Your idea was to stow away?
Yes, it would give us something to do while we're waiting. And if it's a variety of different gems and minerals, it could be a nice distraction before we get to the city.
Are you just looking for shiny objects, Raya?
No, of course not.
Okay.
How do you stow away 4 bodies? That seems like a lot to stow away.
Yeah, I've heard it works.
Well, let's see if we're priced out, and then we'll consider how that could be accomplished.
So are we heading out now, or are we...
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I think so. Do you need anything?
I just thought that maybe I just want to go... So I want to look around for one more store.
Do you want to try the Iron Light Collective?
I kind of walked around and kind of looked around for it a little bit. I couldn't see anything, so maybe they're not here. No, this is a little different. And DM, I'll look for just like a general store, or this might sound stupid, but like a kid's store for like toys.
Okay. Make an investigation check at disadvantage.
5.
5. Yeah, I mean, you're looking around, you're seeing signs, you're reading the names of these places, but you can't pick out. I mean, you see, like, they're just sort of some weird names. You can't figure out exactly what each of the stores are.
Is there anyone on the street that I could just stop and just be like...
Right now, you guys are the only ones on the street, as the rain is coming down hard.
I just wanted to get something to remember this place by.
Just think about it and paint a picture in your head.
Sometimes memories are enough.
Yeah, but sometimes they fade. And objects help you remember. It's okay. Let's go.
All right. So are you guys heading off to the port at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys begin walking over towards the coast, and the port itself is a lot more occupied. It seems that most of these ships, while docked and called dormant, it seems that 2 of them are still very active at the moment. Crews being loaded on and off, boxes, crates, things of that sort, sort of coming on and off the boats. And as you guys walk up, you see a little bit of a crowd has formed. Maybe 6 or 7 people have crowded around and are yelling, are in a little bit of an argument. And you can hear several voices. I'm not going back out there. What do you think? No, I'm not going back out there either. What, are you insane? No, we're not doing this. And you hear one booming voice from the crowd, sort of yelling back at them. You will get back on this boat this instant, or I will see that you are all hunted down, I swear. And you guys look into the crowd and you see several of the voices that were shouting are human, dwarf. You see a couple of half-elves. And you see the booming voice that had yelled back is much taller, 6.5, maybe 7 feet. You see broad shoulders, this golden fur going down their arms and their legs. You see a brown cloak over. You see a giant golden mane and the head of a lion. As these voices clamor back, no, I swear, no, we saw the island out there. We are not going back out there. As they all disperse and walk away, and you see this giant lion figure sort of shake his head, begin to walk back towards the boat.
And the group, you said, like they're all gone now, and he's on his own?
They're beginning to disperse, yeah.
Okay, like this might be our shot.
Sounds a little bit suspicious to me, Flynn. I don't know what this island is they're talking about, but it's not on our itinerary. You know what I mean?
When do we do something that's not suspicious?
I'm trying to carve a new path.
Just lean into it. Come on. And I'll start walking towards the line, man.
At least worth investigating, no?
All right. As you guys walk up, you can see he's sort of pacing back and forth.
Hello. I'm Flynn Fellowweave.
Hi, Flynn. I don't care at the moment. I'm sorry.
That's fair. What seems to trouble you today?
Well, my entire crew just left. So, if you're for hire, I would love to bring you on.
A smile creeps across my little face. Well, where are you going?
We're going to Oakenspire.
Oh. As I turn back to the party. We may be heading that way as well. Why did they leave?
Superstitious.
Of what?
They claim to have seen an island, and some say that the island does things. I don't know. I don't believe in it. I've never seen it. But these people run off at the sign of an island.
But we are not going on the island, right?
No, of course not.
Right, we're sailing around it. It'll be fine. I'll turn to the group. I'll make a face.
I raise my eyebrows crossly, Flynn. What's the superstition about this island, sir?
Gods know. I have no idea. But all I know is as soon as someone claims to have seen an island out there, the rest of my crew just up and leaves.
I turn and look at the group.
I hate to say it, but 5 people does not make a crew.
How big of a boat is it? Can we tell?
It's not huge. It looks like probably 10 people could probably man it well enough.
What about 4 people and a horse?
You do actually still see. It doesn't look like the entire crew left. It looks like there are 3, maybe 4 people still lugging stuff onto the boat.
And what is the purpose of your voyage?
Transporting. We have a couple of passengers. We pride ourselves on being one of the most luxurious ships out on the sea, and we take people back and forth from where they need to go.
Are you carrying any goods aboard?
Lots of goods. We take plenty of things in the cargo hold as we transport the people back and forth as well.
What are you paying?
Well, it doesn't look like you're all very experienced.
I have
but
tons of experience. What are you talking about?
make a deception check.
Oh, gosh. I can't see, is it?
9.
Nine. He sort of looks at you and, how old are you?
31.
She's older than she looks. She's part halfling, so whole thing.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I will. I'll be willing to pay you all 5 gold for the trip. 5 gold each for the trip to Oakenspire, but it's going to be rigorous work.
How long would the trip take?
Well, the wind looks to be on our backs, especially with this storm. It shouldn't take any more than, I'd say, 24 hours.
And I can assure you that if it gives out at any moment, I can provide.
Okay.
And I sort of look over at Flynn and give like a little wink, trying to like pick up with his like suave routine.
I wink.
And as you guys are having this discussion, sort of off, and you can see loading one of the other boats is a dwarf carrying this crate, and he looks over to the lion man, and he goes, "Really scraping the bottom of the barrel, aren't ya?" And he sort of chuckles to himself, and the lion tries to brush it off.
Have I ever seen a man like this that has a lion's head? Is that what you described him as?
Yeah, humanoid body, lion head, just super jacked.
I mean, I've been around a little bit, but I don't know if have I ever seen, like, if this is like throwing me, or do I understand that there are, I mean, obviously we're traveling with
A bird.
A bird man. Does it shake me at all?
No,
Okay.
you would have heard but not seen something.
I will be staring at the mane,
Okay.
wishing I had a handful of that.
At this point, it is. You can tell it's this thick mane, but it's totally being matted down by all of the
Of course, of course.
What's the cost for a ticket aboard? As a
Cost for
passenger.
ticket aboard.
Yeah, as a passenger.
Oh, you're being serious.
Yeah, you said you take passengers.
Do you each have 300 gold on?
You cost 300 gold to go 24 hours?
Yes.
And you're only paying people 5 gold to help you?
Yes.
I'm just so confused by the, just the numbers in my head are just kind of like swimming, and I just am like
Do I know if
bonkers.
Caldor is expensive? I mean, I wasn't there, but $3 for a cloak, like $300 for a trip across. Is it expensive in Caldor?
Not in general, but the closer you get to the capital, prices tend to go up.
I will say this then, as a cost-conscious traveler, and the fact that it does take considerable energy for me to conjure wind. If my services are needed on this vessel, I will charge an additional 2 gold pieces if I need to provide the vessel with extra oomph, if you will.
No.
I need to work on my haggling skills.
Say under my breath.
Fine.
I look at our group: a child, a half-asleep halfling,
Yeah.
and a birdman, and then me. And I just look at the guy and say, "We'll be what use we can, and we'll do a good job. We're hardy people. You can count on us."
All right. And just off in the distance, coming off of the ship, having just loaded that crate on, you see the same dwarf with a long, scraggly, salt and pepper beard hops off of the ship and goes, "Hey, I'll pay each 6 gold. How about that?"
Oh.
And he sort of laughs towards the line. "Come and join me, crew, and I'll give you 6 gold."
Do you have any goods aboard your ship?
Oh my god.
Yeah, we travel with lots of things.
Where are you going?
Oakenspire, wouldn't you know?
Just to verify, this guy is like on a different ship yelling across.
Yes.
Ooh.
How big is his ship?
His ship is a little bit smaller, but looking over sort of at it, It looks a little bit more sleek, and you can see cannon ports coming out of the sides, whereas this ship that you guys are on seems to be more of a luxury vessel, no cannons.
Okay, and the one, how much? Do we see any other crew members aboard the other ship?
Yes, you do. You see about 4 or 5 members of the crew. You see each of them loading them up, not as superstitious as this crew seems.
But each boat has a crew, right? Like
Each
there are
boat
still
has
some.
a crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I make an assessment at a glance here of like luxury line versus like battleship, of like what the crew is generally like, if they seem disgruntled or content?
Especially the captain. you know, like-
these two guys too.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how I could compare their. One of them definitely seems a bit like a scallywag.
Yeah, a little bit.
If you want to make an insight check, you
Okay.
can do that.
Brutal. I'm not a seaman. That would be 13.
13. You get that the crew on the dwarf's boat seems to be a little bit, I don't want to say happier, but a little bit more content with the work that they're doing, whereas the crew on the Leonin, which is the race of the lion, Leonin ship, seems to be a little bit more disgruntled, but that could just be to the fact that half of the crew just left, so they're probably going to have to do a little bit more work.
Does the captain look like he's like dressed way better than everyone else?
He doesn't look like he's dressed too much better than everyone else, especially on this ship. It looks like all of the crew are pretty well dressed, whether that's uniform or personal wear.
I'm just trying to assess whether he pockets like all of the extra gold as a mean boss man.
Make an insight check for me.
16.
You actually look at him, and he's wearing pretty much the exact same uniform as everyone else. And you sort of get he's not the captain. He's high up, but he's not the captain himself.
Which is why he's so rude. Which is why he's even ruder. I turn to Calic, and then I turn to our half-asleep friend, Flynn. And then I turn to Shreya, and I shrug, and I say, I don't know, 6 gold pieces is better than 5. I also don't like this man. He's rude.
One ship seems more prepared for, what's the word? Troubled waters?
Yeah, but if you prepare for them, in my experience, it's because you usually run into them.
Right, like you shouldn't learn to swim because you'll get shipwrecked.
Yes, and if there's an extra presence in Oakenspire, they might be more keen to inspect ships that bear arms than those that do not. Were we trying to keep a low profile?
Well, but don't they always go to Oakenspire? They said they were already going to Oakenspire, though. So if they were already going, then they have passage there.
Well, yeah, that's an assumption, though. We don't know.
Hey! Were you already going to Oakenspire?
Who are you yelling that at?
The dwarf.
Yes. Yes, we were.
Cool!
I'm distrustful of dwarves.
We know, Shreya, and we still need to talk about that because it's not okay.
Shreya, this guy, and I turn to the lion-headed man, he is so mean to us, and he treats you like you're worth nothing, even though you're super powerful and you could create wind for them, and he didn't even care.
And the food is terrible, too!
He's mean. He's intriguing.
No.
I will say, I think Shreya's point to the relative suspiciousness of the vessel is worth noting.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like being on a luxury cruise and showing up, they might wave us on a lot easier than showing up with. I'll look over and what's he doing right now?
At this point, he's leaning up against a crate, hanging out, just looking and seeing what you guys are going to do.
What they're doing.
Do they? what are their? Do they look? Who's got more scars? Like, who looks more hardened? Among these two guys.
I would say they look hardened in different ways.
Okay.
The dwarf looks a little bit more like cocky and willing to jump into a fight, but then the Leonin looks like he's a little bit more reserved in his power.
He's savvy.
I will just kind of look down at my arms and like the maybe the bruises and the cuts from our adventures in the cave, and just remember what happened, and just kind of look to Alma, look to the group, look back to Alma. Which one do you want to go on?
Me?
Yeah.
I guess the one that can protect itself?
And I'll look to the group. I'm going with Alma's choice.
Oh, one moment.
I lean over to Stillfast.
What do you think?
Are you casting?
Yes,
Stupid
I'm
Animals?
casting Speak with Animals, yes.
I would prefer not to go on a boat in general.
Of course.
I was gonna say.
Who'd you rather look at?
I would prefer not to go on a boat in general.
Well, you're going to get on a boat either way.
Oh,
So if you had to pick,
I would choose. This is difficult. Well, on one hand, you have the one with the cannons that could protect us, and then on the other hand, this one looks fancier and probably has better accommodations. But then on the other hand, the other one looks maybe a little bit faster, and this crew kind of looks stuck up. But then also the other one is maybe unpredictable.
would you like nicer brushes or peace of mind?
I would love that so much.
I'm gonna tug on Shreya's feather on his arm. Shreya,
Yes.
considering our past, do you think maybe we should allow Stillfast to stay here in the stables?
It could be our final goodbye to Stillfast if we take the portal back.
That's
Are you guys-
probably for the best.
Are you talking about leaving me here?
Well, if it means you get to stay on land instead of going
yes,
on a boat.
please.
All right, Stillfast. This way, we won't make you venture onto the uncertain waters. This will only take a minute.
I'm gonna guide Stillfast to some stables.
Yeah, I'll go with.
And as he's walking away, sort of recognizing that Olma instigated Stillfast staying, he sort of just bows his head a little bit as he walks away from you. And Shry, you take him over to a stable.
I mean, I can do the talking if you want.
Yes, yes, do the talking. See what a new owner for Stillfast will be, and maybe we can farm some more gold out of it.
Yeah, that's the plan. Maybe we'll, yeah. All right, and I'll grab the reins and I'll kind of like lead the way into the stables.
Okay, as you approach, you see a dwarven woman who's sort of like stacked up a couple of bundles of hay and has made like a little, almost like a little couch for herself, and is laying there with her feet up.
In Dwarvish, I will walk up and I will put the rope around a pole or whatever, the stable area. Well, hi. And in Dwarvish, I'll just say, my name's Flynn Fellowweave, and I'm here to... I'll point towards Stillfast. I'm going to drop him off and maybe sell him for the right price.
Hi, Flynn. I'm always in the market to buy horses. What are you looking to sell them for?
And in common, I'll turn to Shreya, and I'll turn back. 20 gold.
Sold.
Shit.
The thing about this horse is that be very still, but also very fast. That's why in some parts he's known as Stillfast. But you're free. You're free to utilize him as you will.
For the saddle, I meant. For the whole horse together. Oh, I got confused. I would sell him for, again, after that.
100 gold pieces.
Yes. 100 gold.
He's broken land speed records.
Yes.
Either both of you make a persuasion check or one at advantage.
Can I give him advantage if I'm at disadvantage?
Actually, no, you cannot. So I'm gonna have just both of you do a straight roll.
Oh, okay. I'll roll. Yeah. Come on, just do like 2 20s. How hard is that? And I think I have a negative.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I should have gone with you guys.
No, this is our horse.
That's right. It's your responsibility.
Shreya, what'd you get?
The disadvantage, right?
Yours is just a straight roll.
Okay, yeah, 6.
Yeah, I got a 5.
I mean, I'll give you 30. 20 for the horse, like you just said, and then I'll give you 10 for the saddle.
I will look outside. Are there any other stables?
Not in the immediate vicinity. No.
I think time matters right now more than money, Flynn.
Yeah, we can also lie and say we sold it for more.
It'll be our little secret.
Okay, that sounds good. Reach out my hand.
Perfect. And she goes into her pouch and dishes out 30 gold.
Stillfast, you will forever be worth much more than this. Don't let him treat you badly.
Yeah, that wasn't very much money.
We're getting there in our... I have no experience in the economies of this world.
I'm just hearing...
But I know that your pure heart will lead you down a path of righteousness.
I'll turn to the...
I turn away.
I'll turn to the lady. He can talk to them, I think. I think.
Yeah, sure. As she goes and sort of grabs the reins and pulls him away from Shreya.
Goodbye, Stillfast.
If I could, I just want to... I'm going to do it. I don't know if I could cut a piece of the hair off of Stillfast.
Yeah, sure.
I'll just cut a little handful of it and tie it in a rope. Let's look at it. This will do. Throw it in my souvenir pack. Just throw it in there.
Okay. All right, and you guys make your way back to the rest of the group?
While they're gone, I've turned to Kellic. Okay, Kellic. We're supposed to meet halfway. What do you think we should do?
I don't think this is really an apt example, Oma. Both of these things have pretty much an equal benefit to us. But
And an equal risk. I mean, if that ship saw an island, who knows what, like an island that eats people, who knows?
I think if there's a cursed island out there, we're bound to encounter it either way we go.
Yeah, so I would rather encounter it with people who maybe have seen a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, I'm on board. To use an appropriate phrase. But I don't really see why not. I think the way people are, it's likely that either crew has their own quirks. So why not?
I just don't like being treated like a child.
Well, you got a couple of years yet before that's gonna stop.
Sure, but they don't have to be so mean about it.
Aye. That they don't. But I'll turn to the dwarf. When our fellows return, we'll be happy to join you. 6 gold, you said.
Up yours, Gabriel!
I like it, Gabriel. Yeah, up yours, Gabriel.
Yeah, up yours, Gabriel! What does that mean?
I'll explain it to you.
As Shreya and I are walking back. Okay, so 30 gold is what we bought it for.
I'd say he really beat us down in a 70. Let's
70
say
sounds reasonable, especially
Yes.
with just they probably know that we're not the greatest at this. So we'll go with 70. And if they ask, because we're probably going to split it between the 4 of us. So I have some gold.
I do too.
Do you have 20?
I do.
Okay,
yes.
I have 20, and that'll make it 70. And then when we split it, they'll know that it's even, and they won't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Precisely.
All right.
Only a careful inspection of the gold will reveal if it actually came
you
from a
have
more
to
organized place.
Be deceptive and stern and confident. Okay, that's what I was taught.
I will think of
When
nothing
it-
else.
Okay, good. All right, here they are. Let's go.
All right.
Hey, yep. So we sold it.
Yes.
Good. Does Stillfast have a nice home?
Yeah, she seemed nice. She had this really cool little chair she was sitting in. She seemed really like she cared.
Good.
Yes,
Great.
Flynn.
We're gonna go with the dwarf.
Cool. Whatever you choose.
Ah,
I think
all
it's your
right.
turn to choose.
Yeah.
Why are you saying it like that?
Anyway, so we got it 70 gold, and we can split it up.
Why do we need to split it?
Okay, I'll keep it.
Oh, yes, me too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cool, let's
that's,
go.
I mean,
that's fine.
we didn't pay for the horses.
Right.
Seeker did.
covered us on
So-
that. So
Really,
Yeah.
you owe him money, not me.
Get a sword of him, I did.
that's true. We actually are quite indebted to Seeker.
Yeah, let's actually get on this boat.
And I notice a little twinge of conflict. I just start humming, and
The rain that falls on the rain.
Try it. That's cool.
Oh, yes, yes.
All right, your employment begins now. Grab some crates and help us load, and then we'll be on our way.
I'm going to find any crate that I can pick up.
Same.
Okay.
same.
Same.
You all are not strong people. Okay. You guys
strong-ish.
You're strong
I have +1.
relative. You guys all are able to finish up loading this ship. What seems to be left is generally the smaller stuff. It seems like they loaded up all of the big stuff before you guys. As when you are loading up, you're sort of directed down underneath into sort of the hull of the ship, and there are 3 layers. There's the top deck. There's the middle platform of the ship, which seems to be mostly sleeping quarters. That's where the galley is, and then there's the bottom deck where all of the cargo and everything is being held. As you guys are moving things down to the bottom deck, you guys see a bunch of much larger crates that must have been moved here before you guys actually got here. Crates spanning in size from something that you guys could easily hold in your hands to something that is easily 5 feet by 3 feet by 6 feet. And you guys see all this? Most of them are boxed up pretty well. Can't really see what's inside of anything. But as you guys are walking around the ship, you already introduced to Paston Broadhammer.
Yes.
who-
Paston?
Paston.
Okay.
Paston Broadhammer, who, upon introducing himself formally for the first time, is the first mate of this ship. He is second in command, just under the captain. And you can see he's got lots of like these leather straps all across him. And you can see like these hooks sort of coming out of these straps. And you can see light leather armor. And on either side of him, he's got 2 daggers. So on each side, he has 2 daggers. One sort of hanging off of his hip, and then one sort of up on his thighs.
What was the name of this ship before we walked? Did we see it on the side of the ship?
Just a side note, Shreya is going to be looking at the markings on each of the cargo that he's carrying to see if he can discern what's inside them, if they're labeled.
Okay, I'm going to have you make a... You're looking at the markings, right?
Yes, yes.
I'm going to have you make a history check for me.
16.
16. You are looking over these crates. You see on one of the crates a little symbol of a firefly. The crate is about 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. And on another one, just on the opposite side, this is the biggest crate in here. It looks, like I said before, about 5 feet by 3 feet by 6 feet. You see the like a little like, it almost looks like an infinity symbol, but then it's got another sort of circle inlaid into that. And you recognize this symbol because you've seen it, just a tiny little inscription on the base of Thaddeus.
Well then.
Do we all see the
Yeah,
firefly?
do we all see the...
I am going to communicate what I have learned to the rest of the party suavely and secretively. Because I don't think the crew would want to hear me talking about how much I'm admiring the cargo.
Does everything have the firefly?
No, just one of them. And then
A separate one
a
has...
separate one has the sort of infinity with the inlaid circle into it.
Right.
And then the rest of them have different symbols. Some of them are like branded on. Some of them are carved into it. Some of them seem to be painted on, but you don't recognize any of the other ones. These ones are the ones that you specifically notice. And as you guys are loading on, the first mate reaches out his hand to each of you, and as each of you passes by, and he shakes each of your hands. He goes, "Welcome to the Howat Dugan. Welcome to the Howat Dugan. Welcome to the Howat Dugan, and welcome to the Howat Dugan." All right, so you got me. I'm the first mate of the ship. And then just the only person above me is Captain McCready. He's the one over there sort of inspecting the back of the boat. And you look over and you see, also just drenched in rain still, a purple tiefling. And as he sort of turns around, you can see this short, stark white hair on top and a just like a pure white goatee around his face. He is standing sort of very regally, and you can see this blue sort of coat jacket that comes up over his shoulders and extends down to the ground with just a little bit of like gold inlay over the shoulders. And he turns and he points to one of the men who is loading up the galley. And he says, "And that's our cook, Damien Keel." And you see loading is a rather rotund human man, probably in his late 60s, very old, and just really struggling to get all of his stuff in order. And then he also introduces you guys to one of the deck hands. His name is Timmy Flurd. He is also a human, but rather young, probably just cresting 18 or 19. You can see the little peach fuzz and stubble just beginning to come in on his face. And the last member of the crew, Prala Holiday, who is a dwarven woman, probably about what in dwarven years, what would probably be about 30. Still looks rather youthful, even though you can see the weathering on her face.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name's Kellic. This is Alma, Traya, and Flynn, respectively.
I will certainly be forgetting those names.
That's fine. We forget ourselves sometimes.
So, how's it doing? Is that the greeting on board this vessel? The prompt, nicely worded greeting?
It's the name of the boat. I don't know what else to say.
Ah, right.
I take a step back.
All right, well, I'll be showing you to your quarters, but for the remainder of the trip, you will most likely be working, making your 6 gold for the course of 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay, what do you want us to do?
Well, there's a couple of different things that you can do on the boat. Are any of you well-versed in cooking? I'll take that as a no. Well, if any of you want to help, we've got sort of an elderly gentleman in the galley. He needs a bit of help.
I'm happy to help. I used to help Rosie.
I don't know who that is, but we do have Damien, and Damien, fine young man. But he sometimes needs some help, and you might want to get used to speaking loudly and sort of yelling. It's a little hard of hearing.
I can yell!
Yes, you can. All right. For the rest of you, we would are generally in need of just a general assistant over the course of the boat. Anything that the captain or myself needs, any of the deckhands, if they need a piece of equipment, someone to just run around the ship and get things for people. Does that sound good to any of you?
I'd be keen to do that. I'm good and I'm quite flexible for my age. So, yeah, I can take that role.
All right. Hey, Timmy, come over here. And this young human boy runs over and, yes, how can I help? You can take these remaining 2 and just show them what you do around the boat, and just generally have them do the same. And he looks at both of you guys and he goes, "Oh, amazing! Wow, I get more help. Okay, and I get to." And he turns and I get to tell them what to do, right? Oh yeah, just yeah. No, they're under your contract and supervision. And his eyes just light up. And he said, "Okay, if you guys want, come with me. I'll show you how to get started.
Sounds good, Timmy.
All right, yeah, okay.
All right. And with that, you guys see Timmy, with the help of now Shreya and Flynn, as well as Prala, all untie the ropes that were connecting you guys to the dock. And the sails come unfurled as you guys make your way out of the port. You can see just off, still docked there, this much fancier and a little bit more sizable boat. You can see just off on the dock this Leonin man rushing from person to person, trying to hire someone to fill the boat. And as you guys make your way off from the dock, all you hear is,
Up yours!
and as you guys make your way off and into the sea with this storm at your back and rain just beating the hell out of this ship, that is where we're going to end this session. We're going to call it right there as you guys head out to sea.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. Pirate.
Calling it right there. So thank you all so much for listening, and we can't wait to see you all again next week. Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Arr. I go.
Bye, nerds.
Hey, this is Shane. I play Kellic on the podcast, and I write all the music you hear in the background. If you like what we're doing, please like us, rate us, review us, subscribe to us on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. If you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to that. That would mean the world to us and also help us continue to create the show at the high level that we want to create it at and even improve it, if you can imagine that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a great day, nerds.